Hello, hello. I'm going to look at my notes to see what I wrote today. Pre-tax 401k preguntar indexa for hello, by the way, 401k preguntar indexa oh whoa. Yo, what's going on? This was something I was doing previously that I thought of last night, and it's that I want to ask the people who handle like my, well, it's not the people, but yeah, the company who handles my retirement account, you could say. It's not a retirement account, it's like index funds, to ask if in Spain there are ways of doing it pre-tax, like to put money into it pre-tax, if it exists as a concept, because in the United States there are these 401k retirement accounts, so you can get money inside them before you pay taxes on it, right? So that's pretty advantageous. And also in the United States, those accounts are also like matched by your employer, right? Usually employers will match contributions to that. So it's like you put 5,000 per year, or I think the limit is like up to like 10,000 per year. So it's like you put 10,000 in by yourself, and then your employer will put another 10,000, and those 10,000 you put in are also pre-tax. So it's pretty advantageous. And the thing is that those accounts are locked in until retirement. So it's like you can only open them up and start spending and from or sell or whatever from, well, not sell, I think, but spend once you hit a certain age, like 45 or like 50 or something like this. And the account that I have is not that kind of account. It's not like a pension plan account. Would be kind of the equivalent. So yeah, it probably doesn't exist. But I'm wondering if you're self-employed, or it's the same in Germany, I think, but I don't really know. If it's the same in Germany, I would like to know also. I may ask a friend. Fuck it. I'm going to ask my friend right now. Amigo, ¿sabes si en Alemania existen cuentas? Plan de pensiones en los que puedas contribuir antes de impuestos. I'm asking my friend who lives in Germany, just in case he knows. I don't think he knows about this specifically, but he likes investments and all of these things. But usually in more of avoiding taxes entirely rather than, yeah, I don't know. And yeah, my question was mainly if, because I think I asked this already. Let me check my email. But yeah, I think I asked this already, and they told me no, right? like they straight up said no or something like that, right? And I was like, huh. I was like, huh, sad, because I don't know, it feels like it is an interesting thing, right? So I don't know what the reason for it not existing is, right? I'm not sure if, I don't know, if there's like no demand for that product, so, or if taxation, I don't know, if the government is greedy and just doesn't allow these kind of things, or like if the government is, I don't know, socialist minded or whatever, so they are like, no, the only pension plan that we want to incentivize is like our social security pension plan, right? Maybe I think it's probably more on that note, but enviados de aportaciones posteriores. Información financiera. I asked here, I think. Yeah, in Spain, it's like in Spain there is like the maximum legal limit you can put into pension plans is 2,000 euros, but you can put in up to additional 8,000 euros into an employment plan. And yeah, that. Oh yeah, okay. And he sent me this link. Plan de empleo. Oh, can an autónomo. That's interesting. I have no idea like what all of this shit means. Lol, that's a Tobin. Que es y quién va dirigido plan de empleo de Index. Interesting, right? I'm thinking in the context of like, imagine that I get hired as a self-employed person, right? And I make, I don't know, let's put a round number, a high round number. Imagine that I make 10,000 per month pre-tax income, right? As a self-employed person. Then I would have to pay tax on that, right? But if I find out a way to put, like to send some of this pre-tax money there instead of paying myself money, right? The thing that I would pay myself to like spend and all of that, one of the expenses would be this kind of saving for the future type shit, right? So if I can send it pre-tax instead of after tax, right, it makes sense. That was my logic. Assuming I am self-employed, right? Self-employed earning that much. Which, I don't know, I said 10 to make it round, right? So it's like, after tax it will be 5,000 because it's more or less like half, right? So after the 5, and if I want to invest 1,000, for example, of those, then I would have 4 to myself, 1,000 after investment. But if I, instead of, so I would have to pay myself a lot more comparatively. But if I, for example, make the employer expense for saving some of that, right? I think the vibe is understandable, right? That was my thinking. I don't know. I'm not going to draw it. I think it's understandable. I understand it in my head. And yeah, that's what I wanted to ask. I will have to watch a video on this or something. Let's see if they have videos. Bueno. The thing is that I already have like a post-tax account with these people, right? So I was like, I mean, do I need to have 2 separate ones, right? I don't know. I was like, can I put it in the one I already have, right? That was my thing. So that's what I want to ask. But I found that interesting information. Okay, plan de empleo. And I'm going to copy the link to the email that I got. I'm not sure if I can. Okay, I don't know. That's it. That's the thing that I wanted to say. This is not even in the title. Okay, the next thing. This is the thing in the title, the best in the world. So I saw this job posting or whatever. It's less of a job posting and more of a, yeah. There is this company, right, who has these open positions, but in their in their thing, they also listed this one. Insert job you excel at, right? They have this open position for something you excel at, right? So it is kind of an interest, and it was an interesting prompt, right? I don't think I will apply here because I don't know if I excel at something, but I thought it was an interesting thing to think about at least, right? And in the application, this is one of the questions they asked, right? Describe your perfect role and what is the thing you could be the best in the world at if given the opportunity. And I was thinking, this is an interesting question, right? So if anything, it's an interesting question. And I asked that question to Visa. And he was like, I'm already doing it, being a beacon switchboard for friendly ambitious nerds or whatever. And I was like, I don't know, that was a pretty unsatisfactory answer, let's say, right? I was like, okay, so you consider that you are already the best in the world at this, right? Because I liked this given the opportunity angle, right? It's like, so you don't consider that you can I don't know, like I didn't understand what he meant with I'm already doing it, right? But I wanted to think about what do I think I could be like that, right? First, I wanted to view this tweet. So let's start with this tweet, actually. You don't have to accomplish anything, right? This was kind of a tweet I found that I found interesting, right? It's like, actually, you don't need to, right? It's like, you don't have to. It's like when someone doesn't have a lot of big failures, I automatically assume they've never accomplished anything. And it's like, okay, but like you don't have to, right? And this is kind of unambitiousness, right? This is kind of but in a sense, I feel like this is a requirement for being ambitious, right? It's like if you want to accomplish, you have to like make peace with the fact that you don't actually have to do it, right? I'm personally not in the mood to fail. I don't know. It's not that I like failing or not failing, right? Or accomplishing or not accomplishing. It's like, I feel like this is an interesting mindset, right? You don't have to accomplish anything. Like you just don't have to do it, right? And but the thing is that I guess this company wants people who do want to do it, right? And who think they are best in the world at something. And I wanted to think, if I am best in the world at something, what would that be, right? And I don't know. Yeah, another reason why I want to bring this up is because, like, it's okay if I'm not. I want to remind myself that, right? It's okay if I'm not the best at the world at anything, right? But if I want to, I wonder if I could find something, right? Like Guinness World Records, right? If you have a Guinness World Record for something stupid, right, you still have a Guinness World Record, right? Which is interesting, right? That's like an interesting concept. And I was like, is everyone? Yeah, because there is this kind of cliche saying that could be said about like, I'm the best at being me, right, or something like that, right? Because you are unique, so you are the only one who can do that, right? So therefore, you are the best, also the worst, but also the best. And yeah, I think that best. Yeah, I don't know. I want to like the notion of best. What does that carry, right? It carries comparison. If you are the best in the world at something, it's like at least there has to be something to be compared to, right? And yeah, I don't know. I also think that there has to be like intentionality behind it, right? Like if you're the best in the world at I don't know, for example, are there any software developers like who would answer what to this? For example, the other jobs that they are asking for. Distributed systems, like who would answer, I am the best distributed systems engineer in the world. Who would answer that? Right? It's like, who would say confidently, yes, I am the best distributed systems engineer in the world? It's like you look at the responsibilities and it's like, yep, I have designed and independently implemented a lot of processing pipelines, and they have been top class, right? There are no companies in the world that have better deterministic processing pipelines, whatever that is, right? Yes, I worked at one of the only companies in the world that crawled petabytes worth of image, audio, video data, or whatever, right? And I crafted the most efficient pipeline. Then they could be, yep, I can confidently say I am the best distributed systems engineer, right? So I guess there is kind of a sense of, yeah, this is something you can be compared against, right? I am currently getting takeout for the third time this week, so I think you are doing pretty good. I mean, I didn't cook, so I think getting takeout is actually pretty decent. What did you get, by the way? My friend in Germany also gets often takeout often. Burger. Nice. And what were the other 2 times? You were in Berlin, right? Berlin webcams. Kinda moody in Berlin. Bro. Okay, it's still, well, not sunny, but daylight. This time is 2 burger. Pizza and burger with chicken wings. This time is 2 burger, Lord. Nice. Is it like from a burger place? Or from a like one of these kebab places, right? That are kind of generic, and they have also pizza and burgers and all of these things. Yeah, I've also been there. It's called Call a Pizza. Lol. Interesting. Do I have pictures? I think I have pictures. Let's see. I have pictures of the wall. I remember that. I had short hair then. 5 years ago already. Whoa. That's the wall. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to zoom into my friend's face. This is my friend. But yeah, he was there. Ein, zwei, Polizei. I recall taking pictures at night time when it was like dark outside somehow. Maybe afterwards we went again. I don't know. Oh yeah, Berlin. Yeah, this is the picture that I recalled. And also taking these kind of pictures of with the phone backwards or something like this. A bit too many people, IMO. Yeah, a lot of people. What the picture is trash though. Like it's super blurry. They were telling me something like do some poses or whatever, and I was like this. Lol. Interesting times. Okay, what was he saying? Oh yeah, the best in the world thing. Yeah, I don't know. Like all the things that I do, I'm either very clearly not the best in the world at, or I've like made myself into not comparing. Like I'm not comparing myself to anyone, like voluntarily. Right? But I wanted to think like if I had to write something like that, what would I say? Because I'm not the person who has made the most videos ever. I'm not the person who has streamed the most times. I'm not the person with the most views. I'm not the person with the most those kind of numbers, right? So if it's a numbers game, I'm probably losing. I'm also not the most honest person online. I think there are people that are more honest. I'm not the most consistent either. I don't know. That's why I was curious about visa censure. He, according to him, he is the best, or like if he was awarded the opportunity, he could be the best beacon or switchboard for friendly ambitious nerds, right? Because that is a term he coined himself, right? So if he has the definition, he can be the best beacon for that, right? But I don't have anything that I've defined in that way. Good evening. Let's look at different webcams now. Webcams Lahore. Only this one apparently. Static. Somehow we're not advanced enough to have a live cam. I don't know. This will do. I mean, not the greatest view or the most, how do you say? The one with the most sites or whatever, right? Because the Brandenburg in Berlin was pretty decent, right? This one. Well, this was offline. But yet this one has a pretty decent view, right? Eiffel Tower. Well, I tried. Let's see. For the moment, we're going with this. Andy, I was thinking about this. About what am I the best in the world at? And I didn't arrive to a good conclusion yet. I was trying to get inspired by Visa because he basically had kind of invented the category for himself. So that makes him the best in the world at that, right? That is my guess. I haven't asked him back the question, but that's what I assume. So I want to kind of invent my own category, but I don't know what the category is. That's the problem. Looks a bit sinister with that background. Yeah, true. Let's see Madrid. Lol, la de 6. I know this road. Lol. Webcam Madrid. Yeah, this is pretty. Today it's pretty sunny also. It's a good day today. Compared to other days. Other days it was pretty cloudier. Much more cloudier. Whatever. Cloudier. I'm not in the city though. I'm in a small town. Wonder if there is a map or something. Webcam map. Or all of them are in Madrid city. Maybe there's a better one from Lahore here. Okay. Bro, this shit's so slow. Okay. Doesn't seem like it. They are from Kyrgyzstan though. Nice. Snowy. Whoa. Kind of crazy, actually. Look at the road. Whoa. Hello. There's people here. I think you can't see them. Maybe I'm covering them with my body. Interesting. Whoa. Police up there. Fuck it. Let's keep it with this one. Let's see. Oh, yes. What are the chances we see a snow drifting car? Yeah, let's see if... Whoa. Maybe here. Here it's more curved, right? It looks like they are sponsoring my stream, Saima Telecom. If they want to. Oh, actually, I can do this. Look. Okay, copiar URL del vídeo. And new navegador 2. Oh, I can copiar código de inserción. Antes the embed URL. 1020 by 1080. Aceptar. And put myself over it. Boom. I'm there. And when I want to, I can show the monitor. Yeah, I don't know. Pretty boring stream, I guess. This is all I had to say. I wanted to think about what am I the best in the world at. Or like, well, there is also another angle to it. It was if given the opportunity, right? What is the thing you could be the best in the world at if given the opportunity? And I thought it was an interesting question because of that also. If I was given the opportunity, what could I be the best in the world at? And I'm not sure about this either. I don't know. I think I'm not sure if it's a frame that I like, right? I'm not sure if I like this comparison frame because, for example, like what is the best travel video one can make, right? Maybe some people think it's a documentary that's super well produced. Maybe some people see it as like a very raw, barely edited video with kind of a handheld cam, right? Do you see your imagination sometimes as an info hazard in a way? Like, for example, when you ask this question, I have a very solid answer for myself, but I don't want to share it. Why? Like, as an info hazard for other people. Info hazard is like, when you read it, you are like, oh, I shouldn't have read that, right? That is an info hazard, basically, right? I'm not sure if I see my mind in that way. Yes, but there's another sense to it. Because, like, it's a hypothetical question and answer. Say more. Like, wait, what the fuck? Why is it saying that it's 28th of January? Did they lie to us? If I press here, it's yeah. What the fuck? Fuck it. I'm using the other one. Okay. I wouldn't be sure if I would take the opportunity if it got given to me. And by my action of answering, somehow I will lose the something, but I don't know what it is. The concept is giga retarded XDD, but still. No, I don't. No, in that sense, no. Then I don't believe that saying things that won't happen is bad or something. Like, for example, if I say, I think if I was given the opportunity to be the best coder in the world, I would be the best coder, for example. No, I don't think. If I think that, I don't think that saying it is bad, right? If I, for example, some things that I think about, I was thinking that maybe, but the thing is that I don't think I'm finding the right frame. That's what I don't want to say it, right? But I don't have a problem in saying it, right? I thought of, I could be the best travel filmmaker, right? And then I would give my reasons, right? In the sense that right now, like, I don't know, there are people making travel videos or whatever, but they are like too well produced, but too unreal, right? They are not focusing on like making friendships or whatever. And even the ones that are focused on making friendships are like too casual about it. For example, I don't know. That's, for example, one reason, right? But I like the thing is that I don't actually believe that. I don't actually believe that, right? I don't, because I do think that those videos like are worth existing, right? I just think that I would like mine would be better in some ways, but worse in others. That's the thing. I don't think I would be the best at, right? I would be the best at the category. To which, okay. Hello. Am I back? I'm not sure what I'm not sure what was I saying. You back? Well, sure, but then consider you said this right now. But then you also get the opportunity to be the best coder in the world. Yeah, I wouldn't mind being proven wrong, right? Like I like it's just a question, right? I don't know. Like I'm not afraid of being wrong, right? I don't know. In that sense, I can think that, and it's all right. It's all right to think that I would be the best coder in the world, then get given the opportunity, then prove myself wrong. I don't know. It's like, oops. I mean, then I would be in trouble. But right now, I don't give a shit about that. Like, I'm just trying to think. Like, the thing is that I'm trying to think of the things that are accurate. Right? I'm not going to say that I think I would be the best coder in the world because I don't actually believe that. Right? In that case, I'd like to think that your words, like what you said, will impact the reality. Yeah, I believe that your words impact your reality in a sense, right? I do believe in this focus on what you see, focus on the outcomes you joke about the outcomes you want, and focus on you want to see more of, right? If you are constantly talking about the things that you don't want, right? If you're talking about, it's like at some point in time you have to start thinking about what you want, right? It's like you can be like, oh, I don't want to suffer. I don't want to do these things. I don't want to do. But like at some point, it's better to start thinking about the things that you do want to do. I think there is a good post by Malcolm Ocean. Awareness towardsness. Malcolm, it's this guy. He has these posts about how towardness and awareness, motivation are fundamentally asymmetric. And it's like awareness can't aim, right? But towardsness can aim. So it's like if you... Oh, sorry. Okay. This. Malcolm is this guy. And yeah, he has this post about towardness and awareness. And it's like awareness can't aim. Towardness can, right? So if you say, I don't want to suffer, or I don't want, right? Or I hate, right? It's like until you start saying, I want, it's like you are in this kind of desert, right? Because it's like if you start with awareness and you bounce around, it's like, yeah, you will start bouncing around awarenessly, I guess, right? And no, we can all be wrong and right sometimes, but it's like an impact on reality. Like your thoughts doesn't exist physically, but your words that we speak, these do in fact exist in real life. I don't know. I think your thoughts also exist, I guess, right? It's just a different existence, right? It's like a more fleeting, less concrete or whatever. Or their potential impact is lower, right? It's like they only impact you, while words can like impact more if you publish them or something. But it's like speaking out loud while you're alone, like I don't know. It's like the circumstance don't change, right? You're right, like electricity in a circuit is thought, and bulb is your words. Bulb lighting up is your words. Yeah, could be. And if the switch is like off, hello. Am I back? Why the fuck is this happening, man? Six users. Good question. What question? The one about why is this happening? I'm not sure how live I am. How live am I? Like I'm not sure what the delay is between me saying something and a reply to that coming in the chat. I'm not too connected to that. I don't know. I'm not sure what. Yeah, I'm not sure. By the way, I'm not sure if you were at the beginning, but yeah, in the beginning I showed this tweet, right? That is like you don't have to accomplish anything, right? So it's like I don't want the message to be like find the thing you are in the best in the world at, right? And it's like no. First of all, it's fine, right? It's like it's fine. It's fine to not be the best in the world at something. I think, right? It's fine. Many people aren't, and I don't know, they can be good people or whatever, right? It's all right. But if I find it, right, it's like I can look for it. And yeah, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to look for it. I wanted to see if it is, right? If there is something. Right? And if there is something, like, just be the best you can be today. But that's effort. Yeah. Also, I don't know. Yeah, I guess it's also different frames, right? It's like one frame is, I don't know. I think that this is a good frame because it forces you kind of to put yourself in the world in a sense, right? Compare yourself to others in a way, right? So that is useful in a way, right? It's useful to compare yourself to people to know what can happen and all these things. I don't know. But also, it's useful to compare yourself to yourself also with to put the effort thing on. Yeah. The effort, for example. It's like once you are the best at something, for example, then, oh, she means to say you don't have to achieve some grand goal for which you have to fail over and over again. Meanwhile, other guy means to say if you don't fail in general things of life, that's bad. Because failing isn't just part of gaining something huge, it's part of everything. Terrible, terrible communication all around. No one likes to explain specifically what you want. I don't know. I think if you are assuming that they have never accomplished anything, right? I don't know. It's like I get I don't know. I think I get her more than him, right? If you are like when someone doesn't have a lot of big failures, I assume they've never accomplished anything. Is like it's like lowering the rate of accomplishment or something arbitrarily, right? It's like does that count as more accomplishing than someone who has lived just a pretty mundane life or whatever, right? It's like no, you don't have to accomplish. Right? I don't know. It's like you don't have to risk this kind of extreme failure or whatever. Or like there are a lot of different frames of accomplishment. I don't know. I don't think he means something like if you have failed, stream dead again. For sure. Maybe you're luck. Maybe you. Oh, no, I'm not sure. I mean, I believe you. Right now it says to me that I'm connected. Back. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, to me, I don't get his view. Right. Like to me, this makes sense in this kind of entrepreneurship way, but it doesn't make sense in a life way. Right. In this, what you said, if you have to. Meanwhile, other guy means to say if you don't fail in general things of life, that's bad. Right. Whose gaze sees it thou with eyes of mine, of one who looks at eye with thine. No idea what this means, man. Okay. Let's see if there is a version that's kind of translated. Solipsism. Whose gaze sees thou with eyes? Too hard. This English is too hard for me. Oh, bro, not the solipsism. Okay, nihilism then works for you. I don't get it. Sorry, I don't get like the connection to the phrase. Like I don't understand the phrase itself. Right? When the gaze that look at you with my eyes, who sees you with my eyes? Well, the gaze that looks like I don't understand it. Sorry. Okay, nihilism then. I still don't get it. The more you try looking around for that with that mindset, the more pain it feels in the brain. This one, I said. Probably, I don't know. It probably is strange. I don't know. Sometimes I don't understand this view. Right? I don't understand in general the view of like making mistakes or like what are they talking about? Right? It's like, is this guy talking about someone having a wife? Is this guy talking about someone having a company? Like if he sees a guy who complains about not having a wife, and the guy has not gone in many dates, and he says this, it's like, okay, I can see it. I can see it, right? If he says if he is talking to someone who hasn't had a lot of dates, and he's like, well, I have not gotten married, he's like, yeah, I don't know, I get it. Or if he's like talking about startups or whatever, and he's like, yeah, if you haven't had a lot of if you haven't been bankrupt like 7 times, I don't believe you have actually accomplished anything. I mean, okay, I get it, right? I get the mindset. Not necessarily agree or not, but I basically, but okay, I believe it. But if it's talking about like a life in general, I'm like, I don't know, maybe. Failure good. I don't know. To me, failure is like it's neither good or bad. It's failure, right? Like you can make something good out of it sometimes of some failures, but of others, you can't really make anything good or bad. It's like sometimes you just make shitty companies, right, and never learn, and or whatever, or just date the wrong people and never get a good thing out of it. Right? It's just miserable. I make a miserable life or something. Sometimes it's like, but then you can be like, okay, what if we look only at the people who have the accomplishments, right? If you look at those people, do they all have this big trail of failures? And it's like sometimes no. It's like no, sometimes, and actually the ones that are like most revered or something are actually people who like hit. Okay, I don't know what the fuck is up with my stream. I'm going to turn off my... I don't know. I'm connected to like the problem is that I can't do anything about it. I have this printer icon here that tells me like when I'm not connected to the printer, it doesn't work. But when I'm connected to the printer, it works. And I only see the connected to the printer icon. Maybe I just stopped streaming on Twitter just in case. Maybe that's the problem. Finalizar, boom, and stop streaming to Twitter, and that's it. Let's see if this makes it better. Maybe trying to do the double stream at the same time is fucking it up. But other times it works well. Okay, back to the failure thing. Failure is a natural product of doing things you want to do, though, so it's a signal of trying to do things. The failure itself is meh, of trying and putting yourself on the line. I don't know. I'm not sure what I think about it. Like sometimes I agree, but sometimes like sometimes you can it depends on, and sometimes it doesn't even look like failure, right? I don't know. Solipsism and holism works for me. I like experience. I likes experience pareidolia. But nihilism is chill. You're right. As a school of thought, it works well for our critical thinking. There is no failure if you own winner mentality. There's winning, supongo. There's winning even in failing. I mean, I don't know. Winner mentality is kind of, sounds scope to me, but I don't know. Maybe it's a better cope. Wait, what the heck is winner mentality? Yeah, I guess it's just like assuming everything is winning. I don't know. To me, I don't understand anything. I don't care also. Like, I don't really care about it. Like winning, I don't know, winning, losing. Yeah, no, don't cope. I don't like that then. Failure is failure. It's okay to fail. Go again, but recognize it as a failure. Success is success. Recognize it as such. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. To me, everything is very context dependent, right? For example, because I don't know. To me, it always comes back down to money in the end, right? Failure is failure, but if you're in a certain context, it counts as winning. I.e., you did something good, you got something out of it. Yeah, for example, I don't know. One example, the Grammys, right? It's like if you make a good album and it doesn't win a Grammy, and yeah, if you get nominated to the Grammys but don't win them, versus not even getting nominated to the Grammys in the first place, but getting a lot of plays, or right, like for example in music, what is winning? Right, it's like you have to define what winning is beforehand, right, in order to succeed at it, right? Or like you don't even have to do that, right? Sometimes like you don't even have to define it, and it gets like the winning gets thrown to you. That's like the problem, right? It's like it depends on what you want on what you want to do with the winning. If you want to win, like if you set out with the intention to win beforehand, and then you make a book on how I won or something, right? Then okay, the story is cool. But if you don't, and then you get an interview on a podcast, and the person in the podcast is like, okay, so how are you so successful? And the guy is like, lol, I don't know. Like I don't know, like I was just sweeping my shop and I made this song, right? Like I didn't think this was going to happen, right? Like some people are like that, right? But they are not the ones who are going to be writing a book about success, right? Because they are like, like I don't know, like this game here. I was just sweeping the floor and singing no 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 no, and then that turned out into a TikTok hit or whatever. Again, hey man, I'm also anti this specific cope, but I try not to be jaded in the opposite direction as well. Hey man, we're speaking of abstract shit all the way. Would you like to read an article I wrote? XD, I have to go in 10 minutes, and since you look random shit, might as well go for this as well. Unrelated to this though. Okay, put it in the chat. But separate it, right? Like you have to do something like something like that, probably. Or tell me to Google something or something. Turn the Maslow hierarchy of needs upside down and start from the bottom. Here, a key to success. Self-actualization first, then this, then this, then this, then this, and then this. I don't know. I'm not sure if I get the point. I think I get the vibe, right? Like you have to sacrifice all of this to achieve this first, right? I don't know. If you sacrifice all this to get this first thing, you will get success or something. I think that's the vibe, right, of what you say. I don't know. I'm looking at the clouds right now. I don't know. There is also like the question of, do I even care about being the best at anything? Right? Like, I'm not sure, right? Yes, you start from the transcendence and everything below already will be manifested. Whoa, is there so much delay? Transcendence. No, there is no delay for me. Oh, okay. Nice hat. I don't know. I'm not sure if it works that way, right? Like the physiologic. I don't know. Like, you can't ignore the physiological, right? Like, at some point you have to eat something and drink some water, right? If not, you die. It works for I. Respect, then. I mean, first doubt, but then respect, right? Like, you gotta eat, right? Well, it's like, and you probably live somewhere, right? It's like, it doesn't count to be like, I'm transcending. If, like, for example, if I'm living with my parents, like, I am I'm like subletting the need of housing to them, right? I am like not worrying about that because they are taking care of it. So it's like, if I'm like, I can be transcendent, I don't worry about that, right? It's like, no. I live with my parents, right? Like, that is different. It's like, who pays for your internet connection? Like, how are you watching this? Who pays rent in your house? Or like, whose house are you living in? Like, the thing is that I'm not sure if this pyramid like work. Like, if this is a real thing, for example. Because, for example, I watched a video about this. YouTube Maslow. Let's see if I can find it in my history or something. That it was basically about how Maslow's pyramid is kind of dumb, right? Like, not dumb. It was by Paul. Okay. X.com. Search from. Fuck it. From P. Miller Maslow. Yeah. Basically, Maslow actually never proposed this pyramid, right? Like, as Paul concluded, transcendence. Yeah, this video is pretty good. But the blog is kind of even. BRB, if you stop at 6, see you tomorrow or something. Okay, Yeah, I'll stop in like 10 minutes or something like this at most. Thank you for being here if I stop earlier. Instagram influencers at static stage, I think. Yeah, like everyone makes a different one actually. To aesthetic, cognitive, esteem. I like the essay because it has a good visual in some point. At some point, it was like
Abraham Maslow we do not know much. He was in attention manager. First visual hundreds of times to the point where now today basically accept it as fact that Maslow created a pyramid. Maslow didn't reject it. We don't have good evidence showing whether or not Maslow really believed in this, but we do have a sense of what Maslow was studying later in his life. Unfortunately, Maslow died pretty young, and a couple of years before his death, he was still pretty optimistic about his deeper research that he was driving about how humans are motivated. Here's what he said at the time. We are now in the middle of such a change in the conception of man's capacities, potentials, and goals. A new vision is emerging of the possibilities of man and his destiny, and its implications are many, not only for our conceptions of education, but also for science, politics, literature, economics, religion, and even our conceptions of the non-human world. My conclusion, Maslow would have loved living in today's world. He would have loved the interchange of ideas, the ability to put things out there without going through gatekeepers.
That part is cool. I forgot, like, maybe it's this one. He proposes this framework. Yeah, I don't know. This is kind of ties into the thing I was talking about earlier, right? What did I say? The awareness and towardness, like that he mentions here, right? These are like satisfying needs that satisfy the lack. And yeah, I could see, for example, what D. Will was saying about transcendental, right? If you take this framework and you're like, you only need transcendence or something, like you only need self-realization. If you start from self-realization, you get the others manifested or something like that, right? If you instead of seeing it as a pyramid, see it as these two things of like two columns, right? If you live with a sense of presence or whatever, then instead of living with a sense of satisfying the lack of awareness, right? If you live with towardness instead of awareness or something like this, it's like the other things get filled because of the other thing. I could kind of see that in a way, right? Everything below transcendence is basically granted things. You cannot achieve what's already given. There is no lack of it, but due to overstimulating what people are living in, we are spiritual beings experiencing human experience. I could say that. I don't know. Yeah, that is pretty. I don't know. How do you say it? Spiritual or whatever? No. Metaphysical? I forget it. I don't know the terms. Yeah, like that is one vision of like others. I don't know. There are some people who would be like, no, we are only material or something. I don't know. I don't really have like we say a candle in this burial in Spanish. No tenga vela en este entierro. But I'm not sure if the expression actually means what I mean to say. But everything below transcendence is basically great things. You cannot achieve what is already given. I don't know. I don't know what's granted about these things. I don't know what you mean by granted. How to reach transcendence and be a self-actualizing transcender locked behind a paywall. So funny. Money is unlimited, for example. I mean, money supply. It's like the money supply is not limited, right? There are all these kind of definitions of money supply, and you can always see what it is, right? 1,500 billion pounds sterling, right? In the UK, and then you sum all of these. I don't know. I don't give a shit. Like, it's not that I don't give a shit. It's like I don't understand money. So, what did I miss? A couple of comments from Will. I'm not sure what I said. Yeah, basically this part of the B versus D thing and connecting that to awareness or whatever. To the awareness and awareness. This, like Paul proposes, instead of this pyramid, more like sorting them into a couple of categories, right? Sorting needs into these needs that put you more in the world, and the needs that are satisfying a lack. I think it's an A-frame. Top 1% book. 41,000 sold. It's a good book, by the way. I found it interesting. And yeah, this is again related to the best, right? It's a top 1% book, so it's like Paul probably is the best in some category, right? The best in the world in some category. Or one of the best. Not sure if the best. But maybe if he niches down enough into the category, right? For example, Paul could say, yeah, I'm the best at having the book about no path or something like that. I'm the best in the world, the best writer in the world talking about no paths. So it requires a marketplace where you can compare to other people's books. Needs to the measure for the measure to be numbers of units sold. I don't know. I'm not sure if I clarified anything today. But thank you all for being here. Hanio, José Luis, Will, Cuadro, Plum Boy. Where are you from, by the way, the Will? Well, once there was only light. I watched the other day that show, True Detective Season 1, because Plump Boy, by the way, recommended it. So, and I also liked it a lot. Well, once there was only dark. You ask me, the light's winning. Good sentence. Was nice meeting you, Ukraine. Slava Ukraine. And yeah, bye. Interesting place, Ukraine.